no one is expecting this to happen. It will be a shock if it does, but I want to have the caveats put out there that do not underestimate certain global powers who like, for their own intents and purposes, to just keep Pakistan on life support, just to keep it over death. Okay. Now, there are many permutations and combinations that they argue themselves in. $1.3 billion roughly equates to 10 or 15% of Pakistan's existing reserves. Let me put that in context. $1.3 billion would equate to 0.1% of India's reserves, okay, and our gold reserves, etc., and other holdings that we have at the IMF that constitute your foreign reserves. So, 10 to 15%. Now, you take away the 10 to 15%, and suddenly you have an economic crisis that the Pakistanis right now cannot comprehend, because the Pakistanis are going to argue that we'll go into debt default, okay, and you guys don't want that, because then we can't pay back any of our loans. So, you know the argument that is going to be made, but I don't understand for the life of me how, in the present circumstances, the United States, which holds 17% of the vote, is going to vote in favor of this Pakistani loan. It would not be unusual for us to posit that a large percentage of this money, just like the F-16s, will be targeted at India. I think Shruti was mentioning that they, as it is, get funding to service the F-16s every year. We know that those are aimed at India. They're not supposed to be by law, by American law, but that's where they use them. I would consider it a very unfriendly act if this was to happen. Let me get Shruti on that note before I go to Ajay Jandial, who's joining us with the latest ground developments. Shruti, let's pick on the IMF. Now, it is important for us, but it is crucially important to Islamabad.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It is their lifeblood, if you would like to use that term. They would not be able to pay back anybody if they would go into debt default. But it is like pouring good money after bad money. They are neck deep in loans. How many more loans? They take one loan and they go repay others. They are unable to pay back China, and I believe they have been selling off their resources and land resources to China, you know, in deals so that they can keep the dragon at bay. But Ambassador Mukherjee said before that they come with lot of strings, the IMF loans. And I agree with her, they do come with a lot of strings. But what Pakistan is extremely good at is using, you know, it's going to use that money for the purposes that IMF gives it to, and then use its own personal money that is supposed to take care of its people, and then funnel that money, which has no strings of the IMF or any other governing body, and push it into terror. So it doesn't matter whether directly that money from
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Shruti. Let me just take some operational updates. I've just been informed that the air raid sirens have now been sounded in Uri sector. We have been told that heavy shelling can be heard in Gowalan in Uri, and we have been given to understand that retaliation is taking place. Ajay Jandial, my colleague, is joining us on this. Ajay, before I pick the other matters to you, so it has begun. We are at 6:30 Indian Standard Time, and heavy shelling has started in Uri once again.
Yes, Rishabh, that is what our ground team is saying, suggesting us that air raid siren has started sounding over there in the Galwan and in Uri sector of that area, which is under attack of Pakistani shelling for last several days. And we have seen that more than 40 people was injured in the Pakistani shelling. So there are still possibilities that Pakistan could try to target the civilians, because Pakistan is using Chinese guns to target the civilians and the defense forces positions over here on the line of control. For last 3 days continuously shelling is going on, and we have seen that 17 people as of now have died, and more than 50 people are injured in Pakistan shelling on the line of control.
That's the civilian casualties. Now, Ajay, for people, and if you can, I mean, with whatever limited way you can, let's put out the information that for people who are seeing ordnance that has been recovered on the ground or is lying on the ground in debris, they should be advised not to go near it. It is a potential hazard, and to inform the authorities, because it's also potential evidence. So what activities are taking place to recover the debris of the drones that attempted an assault last night?
Yes, Rishabh, number of debris were found in Jammu city. We have shown our viewers that at least four locations from where civilian houses were targeted by the Pakistani drones, and from that very location debris was also recovered. During that incident last night which took place, when drones basically was hitting out in the civilians area and the defense forces installation as well, we have seen that there was a panic among the people, because it is a first of kind incident which they have seen. So that's why there were panic, because when anti-drone system was activated, there was number of explosions which took place during that 1 hour time. So that's why there was a panic. But people, those who have seen this incident, they have been conveyed by the police. We just have received one fresh message from the DIG Jammu Kashmir range. Jammu Kathua range. He visited the Jammu city, and he advised people that whenever they see anything suspicious, they should not touch it. That could hamper the investigation as well.
Yes, it's safer to report it to the police. Simple as that. Thank you, Ajay. We'll come back to you as we